Welcome to New Zealand, the most geographically isolated developed nation set deep in the southwestern Pacific. This was the last landmass to be settled by humans, and it shows. Protecting this pristine environment has become part of the national identity. From dramatic landscapes and rare wildlife to rich cultural traditions, this island nation offers something unlike anywhere else on Earth. In this series, I'll be traveling across both islands, exploring stunning natural wonders, learning about the local culture, and yes, dipping my toes into a bit of adventure. Join me as I discover what makes New Zealand truly unique. We started here in Auckland. This is where we flew into. Yesterday was just a chill day trying to get over the jet lag, and we walked around the city, saw the central business district is pretty much where we hung out. And so in this series, for the first couple of days, we're going to explore the North Island, a couple of spots on our own before we join a group tour for the remainder of the trip, where we're going to be exploring many locations on both islands. So I hope you'll enjoy this tour of New Zealand. And today we are headed down to the famous Waitomo Caves. And so first, you're gonna see how the heck we navigate driving on the wrong side of the road. It was a little bit stressful picking up the car because we were right here in downtown, and takes some getting used to. I'm lucky enough to be the navigator while a friend of mine is gonna be doing the driving. So we'll see you when we get out on the countryside. The journey to Waitomo takes about 2.5 hours from Auckland. This area of New Zealand is famous for its caves, particularly the Glowworm Cave.
I may be able to do this.
She's doing great. We're hitting the roundabout.
There's nobody there. There's nobody there. Nobody here. There's nobody here. And I almost made it.
You did it!
Woohoo! That one did stress me out.
Good job! Alright, now we stay on this road a while. What's a glowworm, you ask? Well, that's exactly why we're visiting, to learn what this unique species is all about. The Glowworm Caves are one of the most popular tourist attractions here in New Zealand. It boasts that there are thousands of tiny bioluminescent glowworms that are native and unique to the island of New Zealand. They have turned this area into quite an attraction, with several different caves you can visit with different features. And we're going to visit them all. I'll let you know what to expect along the way. And we've actually decided to stay a night in Waitomo, so we won't feel rushed. So stick around to the end if you want to see where we stayed. And what can you expect in the spring? Well, plenty of rain. If you're driving there yourself, you really can't miss the main entrance. You're going to look for this big canopy, and there's plenty of parking across the street. If you visit during the high season, you're likely going to need to purchase your tickets in advance. You can monitor the website a few weeks prior and see if the tickets are selling out.
We're good. Let's see, tickets. Oh, that's the gift shop.
It's the rain on the canopy, I think. Oh, look how pretty. We did. They do sell timed entry for each of the caves. It was still low season when we visited, and we wanted flexibility, so we were lucky enough to find entry tickets to each of the caves once we arrived. Just follow the signs up to the ticket office, and don't forget to schedule some time to eat lunch in between the tours. All of these caves are on a reservation system. You have to go on a guided tour, so we're going to start the first one here at Aranui. I'm probably butchering the names. We decided we were here all day and we're staying the night in the area, so we're going to visit all 3 caves, and I'll tell you what to expect. So we start by meeting right here under the shelter. There's a nice little parking lot here. This tour is 1 hour. Oh, sorry, I'm hitting the... Wow, this is pretty. My umbrella was hitting the trees, so.
Oh.
Aranui Cave was discovered in 1910 by Ruakuri Aranui, a local Maori man who accidentally stumbled upon it while hunting pigs in the dense forest above Waitomo. I'm going to have to say the walk to the cave was just as enjoyable as the cave itself. It is gorgeous with such lush scenery.
Come right on up under here.
Inside this cave, you're going to find beautiful, unique formations, and the guide will also highlight these interesting bugs native to New Zealand called the weta.
Come on up around here, everyone. So Waitomo Caves are very dry caves. American and Australian caves are a lot more wetter, you know, in general.
Beautiful. Oh. There are no glowworms in this cave, so it is less popular than the other two caves in the area.
Just watch your heads in.
Poke you on the head. It's right. Candy. Oh, that's not candy. You guys can go ahead. Yeah. So it is pouring the rain out today, so you're going to hear from me in the car. We just finished that tour. It was a little bit rushed. You go up some steps through a beautiful like rainforest over a bridge into this beautiful cave. The total tour he said was about an hour, but I'm going to say it was shorter than that. I don't have the time, but I think it was a little bit shorter than that. But there's beautiful formations in there. It's a pretty long and tall cave. No glowworms, but they do show you some very interesting bugs that are very unique to the area. And so now we've got a little bit of time to the next cave, and so we'll compare it to the next one on the list. All right, folks, so our Glowworm Cave that tour is later in the afternoon, but we needed a little bit of lunch in between the first and the second tour, so we stopped here at the restaurant. It's close and convenient, and they have a nice area. This canopy overhead is really beautiful. It's keeping the rain off. It is pouring the rain today, and we're going to get a cup of coffee, get some beer, get some lunch. There's birds. It's like a rainforest in this area. It is so beautiful. So I'll show you what we're having for lunch, and the tours will continue shortly. Look here. Birds are just everywhere. Enjoying the lunch. There's a little river down there, I think. Next up is the Ruakuri. I already forgot how to pronounce it. Ruakuri? Dang. The cave that starts with an R is coming up next, and this is the longest tour. It's an hour and a half. And so when you arrive, you'll see a little place to park, and then you walk up the pathway to the little shelter. We really brought the rain, so I'm gonna have to limit my filming here, but here we go. I don't know how much they're gonna let me film inside the cave, but I'll show you what I can. Those birds.
Look at the trees.
I know, they're awesome. There are some very unique birds here. I hope you can hear all that. It's so pretty. It's like green. Whoops. So this is the entrance and visitor center to Ruakuri Cave, and this is where you go at your assigned time. Sure, we're going to go in and wait for the tour guide. Now inside the visitor center, you can find out a little more history about the cave. This cave was first discovered by local Maori between 400 and 500 years ago. And according to the legend, a young warrior was out hunting for birds near the cave's entrance when he was attacked by 2 wild dogs. After escaping and reporting the attack to his chief, he went back to kill the dogs for their precious fur. The name Te Ruakuri means the den of the dogs. It's a little bit of a walk down to the cave entrance, And just know that this is not the natural entrance of the cave. The natural entrance of the cave was used by the Maori as a burial site, and since it is sacred, it is no longer used for tourism. There is now an accessible entrance, the only handicap accessible entrance to a cave in the southern hemisphere, and it's quite stunning the way they've lit it up. So you take this long journey down to the bottom. The tour guides here in this cave do a great job. Soon after entering the area with these gorgeous formations, they offer a photo opportunity with proper lighting for each guest on the tour, which was really a nice touch. They point out several unique features and give you plenty of time to get up close and personal and really marvel at the unique features of this cave.
Ooh, look at those formations.
To try and fit everyone,
Wow.
we're going to have shorter people at the front. And then we'll have up, you'll notice the roof's on an A shape, so an angle. So instead of the water dripping straight down, it will follow the roof all the way down and make a snail trail. And over time we'll just keep making that same path and dropping that crystal, so we'll make quite a cool cave bacony or fabric shape.
Now this cave does have glowworms. They do not have the quantity of glowworms that you'll see in the main Glowworm Cave, but what's best about this tour is you get to see it up close and personal.
Can you see that line? So that's a glowworm.
These glowworms are actually the larval stage of a fungus gnat, and these sticky, silky threads are produced by saliva and waste fluids from this animal. Bioluminescence of the worm attracts the bugs, and then it flies up and gets stuck in these strings, and that's how they eat. It's really hard to capture these glowworms while you're inside the cave on your cell phone without professional gear. I did my best, and here's just a sample.
Now right through there, we got to stop, look at the glowworms, and then watch the rafters come underneath. The rafters go in these inner tubes. They have these adventures where you can go through the caves on an inner tube and float by the glowworms.
Now, we did not take the time to do that kind of adventure here, but that is a really popular option, and I'll have some more details about what to expect here on my website at swiftytravels.com.
Now that tour was really spectacular. It's about an hour and a half. It's amazingly handicapped accessible. We did see, it wouldn't be easy to take somebody in a wheelchair through there, but it is all ramps. We did see people with strollers and with a handicap, but it's an hour and a half. It's pretty long. They give you plenty of time to look at everything you want to see, and you can actually see the glowworms up close in that cave. That was the most spectacular part. And then there's a part of the tour where you can watch the black water rafters that go underneath you. That is an adventure tour that you can get here in Waitomo. So I highly recommend that tour. That was a lot of fun.
And now for the main attraction. In 1887, local Maori chief Tane Tinarau and English surveyor Fred Mace explored this cave together and discovered the glowworms above the river while floating through on a raft. For the record, I'm sure the local Maori knew about this long before, but this is when it was officially documented with European exploration, and soon after, they began leading tourists through this cave. Ever since, this has been one of the leading tourist attractions in the area.
It's time for our final tour here in Waitomo. In terms of the official guided tours, we're going to go in the main attraction here, which is the Glowworm Caves, and they do not allow any photography or video inside. You did get to ride a boat. It is 45 minutes. We've really enjoyed this area. The gift shop is fantastic. The restaurant is great. We had lunch here. We decided to grab a beer before the boat ride, and it's really quite lovely. So I'll tell you about it after the tour, and we're staying tonight in the Waitomo Caves Guest Lodge, a B&B in the area, which has made it nice so we could kind of relax and take our time and see all the caves this afternoon. So we've had a lot of fun, and all the guides are super, super friendly. So we've just had a great time here.
As I mentioned before, there are no cameras allowed in this cave. This is something that you have to experience for yourself. They only let us turn it on right at the very end. Now, if I didn't mention this before, what makes this experience unique is the boat ride, and you get to ride around in complete silence and marvel at the glowworms. When we visited, they had had several days of heavy rain, and this was one of the last tours of the day. The guide was getting a little nervous because he did show us that the level of the river was rising. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be visiting during periods of heavy rain.
So that tour was absolutely amazing, absolutely magical. I cannot recommend it highly enough. And if you're going to do all of them, I actually recommend doing that last, because it kind of, like, it's the most spectacular. So you want to save the best for last. I highly recommend. Unfortunately, all the people in the caves, I think, is starting to reduce the glowworm numbers. And we've had a full day of rain, and they said that the river level was rising. So they were maybe going to have to close off the tours for later in the day. But I'm telling you, it's spectacular. You don't want to miss that one. So if you're staying in Waitomo, there's only a few places to eat. And the Hoo Hoo Cafe that was right across the street from our lodge, they are closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. Or they're definitely closed on Tuesdays. Today's a Tuesday. And so this is kind of the only place open right now for dinner, unless you wanted to eat at the B&B. Were cooking some curry, and so that is an option if you're staying there. But we are going to the Tomo Bar and Eatery.
And the last one, oh wait, is that a red one?
come
Oh,
the
that's
drinks.
American.
Thank you.
Good morning, folks. We are staying in the beautiful little country town of Waitomo. After we visited all the caves, we found this cute little B&B right here by the caves. We decided to spend an evening in the countryside, and I just wanted to show you this cute little place. It's locally owned. There are birds galore and plants all over this place. I think there's maybe something like 6 rooms here. And they cook breakfast starting at 8. We got up early to listen to the beautiful birds. And it's an adorable little place and a very good price. The only thing is there's a really steep driveway. Let me show you. Parking is around the corner. And if you stay here, you can pull your car up here. Let me show you here. There's the highway that goes to the caves. And you can pull your car up here to unload your bags. And then you just have to go up a couple of the steps up to the various rooms that they have on the property. And then the parking is just around the corner. You just go around the corner from the driveway, and there are parking spaces down there. So that's the only thing that was a little bit of a pain, but it's a lovely little place. And there's a few restaurants. Do you hear the birds? So many birds I'm not used to hearing. And I'll show you here on the screen the plants and the flora that are blooming here. So many different things that I'm not used to seeing at home. So there's only about 3 places to eat here in this town. Now they do cook here in their kitchen at the B&B. They offered a chicken curry dinner if that's something you want. Unfortunately, the Hoo Cafe, I think across the street, was closed on Tuesdays. So that was unexpected. And then we did end up eating at the one restaurant in town. They had some really good barbecue and steak items. And my friend is a vegetarian, so they didn't really have the best vegetarian pizza, but it was a fun place, really delicious beer as well, and friendly people. So we're just waiting for breakfast, and then we're going to do one more day on our own here in the North Island. So take a look at this property. It's really cute. So we're staying right here in this room, and then there's a room above as well. And then each one of these little buildings, I think that's a room, and then that's a room up there. They all have their separate entrances. Here's the reception that will go in for breakfast in a little while. Breakfast starts at 8, and look, there's like, I don't know if these are little oranges or tangerines. But look at the beautiful trees. I really enjoy staying in these little locally owned places in the countryside. When we join the group tour later in the week, we're going to be mostly staying in hotels in the cities. So this is a nice break to enjoy a little bit of quiet and nature. So today we're going to head to the east side of the North Island. And I don't think the weather's going to be very good. We'll see. Just a little note about the breakfast. They do not serve a hot breakfast here at this guest lodge. So there's toast and jam and peanut butter and Vegemite and lots of different types of spreads that I was not familiar with. And then they had yogurt and cereal and granola and peaches. And so it was good, and it was beautiful views and very nice people that run this place, but not hot items if that's what you're expecting, if that's what you need. All right, so let's adventure to another part of the island this morning.